their nickname. The term tractor boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the tractor boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell, and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them. Like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne, alongside former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning.
Morning, Shebahn.
Oh, this one's
and
a little
everybody
bit
else.
Tired. Mr. Ryder Cup eyes over there last night. Coming up for you on the show this morning, it's going to be another thriller in the Premier League. We're starting with Brentford versus Manchester United this lunchtime. Ruben Amorim hopes he can finally deliver back-to-back wins for the first time at the helm.
I think the best way of dealing with that is that every game is the last one.
Let's hope so, Mr. Ruben. United have conceded 4 twice in their last 3 visits to the G-Tech. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is an ominous sign. Live commentary 12:30 here for you on talkSPORT. League leaders Liverpool will travel to Crystal Palace, who are 17 unbeaten. That's all among our games on GameDay Live here on talkSPORT. And after Hugo Ekitiki's unnecessary dismissal against Southampton, Reds manager Arne Slot says the summer signing will learn from his mistakes.
He's young. Players of all ages do make mistakes, and that's what he did in this situation as well. But we all make mistakes, and you're allowed at this club to make a mistake.
Put your top back on, Cass. It's too early for that. Come on now, wise up. We'll discuss all the Premier League action coming up today. Lots of games to get stuck into as ever. And of course, the Ryder Cup is well and truly underway in New York. It's been a brilliant start for the Europeans. And talkSPORT's John Jackson believes the US haven't shown anywhere near enough quality.
Scotty Scheffler, as the world number 1, wasn't particularly impressive either. You know, he lost both matches he was involved in today. So it's not been a great weekend for those big players in the US team.
Yeah, we're right across the Ryder Cup for you today here on talkSPORT. Europe taking a 5.5 over 2.5 lead against the USA, and we'll have a full build-up to all of the day's action from the Premier League and beyond. And as ever, You can have your say this morning. 03717 22 3344 or 81089. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. Do you want a little Piriton? You're sneezing your head off.
No, just I'm okay.
It's the dust, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Particles in the studio. Yeah. I got to start, Shebahn, because yesterday morning I took my boy to school and dropped him off at 9 o'clock, got back in, had some breakfast, then prepared myself for the Ryder Cup and then didn't move. And of course my other half then starts to, as the golf starts, because she's not really into golf, but she starts asking me questions and saying, why don't you take Rocco golf, our youngest? And I went, because I take him athletics, football, piano, and maths and English that he does extra Saturdays on. So I'm quite busy with that one. And she does a lot of it as well, by the way. She takes him as well. But it was a question straight out the bat of, because I'm watching golf, she was, why don't you take Rocco golf?
By the way, I mean...
I was just thought it was funny.
I know, absolutely. If you can get the kids into golf...
That's a great game to get them into, yeah.
Absolutely. That would be the sport. I think if I could choose a sport for them now,
yeah,
you know, they're age 6, I go and do golf, but they're not showing that they're keen for it yet, and I think I need to wait for that sign.
Now, you might have to find them in the deep end.
You think, yeah?
Yeah, just take them. You know, with Jamie, you have Rough, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know, you just take them along and at a very young age, and there's all these little schools going around and a number of different clubs in the country.
I mean,
just the basics.
That's the thing about the Ryder Cup weekend cast.
I'm saying that, I haven't done it.
Me and you both, buddy. That's the thing about the Ryder Cup is that of all weekends, you know, and one of the majors that you can really get the kids to say, watch this, because there's so much atmosphere.
Yes.
You know, they know that's going to be present for them.
Well, it's become the football atmosphere in the Ryder Cup, which a lot of the... Because it's quite an elitist sport, obviously, the etiquette of golf and the way, you know, you conduct yourself and what you wear, and you can't be scruffy going to some clubs and have your cap on the wrong way, all these sort of golf club rules. But it's also become a game that's changed, and we're going to hear about a lot of this, you know, with the fans, the way the fans carry on, because it's a very, hysteria is everywhere, isn't it, in golf now?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we talk about the fans and it being an elitist sport. Rory McIlroy's trending this morning because it looks like he's flipped the bird, given the finger to a fan on the course yesterday. And I don't know if he's well aware, there's cameras everywhere, that this would have been picked up. But it's doing the rounds this morning. A lot of people not happy that then if golfers are going to do that, what are you going to expect from the fans? Yeah,
it's, look, it was a great day yesterday.
It was wicked.
Especially for the Europeans. I can't believe how poor and how lack of character there is in the American team. That's a standout. So many of them. You know, Scottish Scheffler's one of the best players in the world, and he could easily turn up today and be brilliant, and tomorrow. But so far, he showed absolutely nothing, Shebahn. And he doesn't have a character either. He's not a big personality. I know DeChambeau will stand there and give it all the, you know, USA and all, you know, whatever they do. And
bless you.
But the American team, Henley, likewise, Patrick Cantley. There's not any character. I don't feel like the Europeans have way more of that than the Americans, and that stood out for me in the first day. I mean, I'm looking at the foursomes today, Shebahn, and he's putting out again Scheffler and Henley, who got beat 5-3 by Aberg and Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
And he's going again with that pairing that didn't look a good match yesterday.
Yeah.
I think they've made quite big mistakes already. Yes, look, Europe played better, but I still think Keegan Bradley, for me, has made mistakes in his pairings.
I mean, Keegan Bradley, you talk about character. Keegan Bradley's a lovely guy. I don't know if you've watched Full Swing in the episode that it really focuses on him last time.
Well, he's got more character than most of his team.
But then, even the opening ceremony, I felt was very ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You know, whereas with Luke Donald, I was like, yes, I'm getting something from you. But then maybe that's just your bias towards that your own sides kind of thing. Listen, everybody's talking about it. The fan bases, the Americans. Yeah. Who's better? Who's got the better fan base? Well, obviously, talkSPORT's Rupert Bell is out in New York City for us. He's been doing the rounds and he's been speaking to a number of the fans at Bethpage Black.
Definitely the chants They don't have one shunt.
And that's always your go-to, and that's fine. And you guys can hang out. You have better chance, no big deal. But we have the better fans. There's no doubt about that.
Nah, I can't argue with that. I got to give it to the Europeans on that one. You guys are pretty good.
The Americans will be loud as they're going to be. There'll be a lot of abuse, but the European fans are brilliant.
Yeah, that's about it. What?
Why?
You've got one shunt, haven't you? And that's it.
I heard Rory's already been crying in the locker room with all this they've been talking, so it's okay.
Oh, yeah. Rupert Bell out mixing with the troops at Page Black. I'm surprised he's still made it to work every day, because I'm sure he's found some fans himself out there. Absolutely got to be Europe with the better fans. I mean, who shouts mashed potatoes, for the love of God?
No.
Who does that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're used to it in golf, really, as they have their own songs. You know, like football basically invents their own material, and you get funny chants all over the country at different football clubs. The golf, it's relatively quite new, and America seem to only have USA and that's it. And it's a bit, well, okay. But the Europeans will come out with something quite quirky or different. Just, you know, it just feels like it's been quite basic.
Basic, I think that's
just basic stuff.
And that's the thing with New York. You're like, I mean, what a place, what a city, what an experience to go. And I did say this coming into the Ryder Cup, that I think of the contingent of maybe Brits out there, Irish especially out in New York. There's such a huge contingent that I actually expected it to be maybe a better crowd for Team Europe. I thought it would maybe benefit them being there. But I mean, from what we've seen yesterday, it looks pretty comfortable their way. But you've mentioned it as character. They've got so much character in Team Europe.
Yeah, they have. And, you know, Hatton and Ram, what a great pairing. You know, and we've seen the rise of Fleetwood in recent years and others. I think Matt Fitzpatrick has been a terrific golfer. Certainly this season has really grown in stature as a player. And others, you know, they've really have lifted the European team. And I think the Europeans have got way more character. That doesn't mean they're going to win, but it makes me feel, do you know what? These could easily go and win this.
I agree.
I had a little punt on Europe on Friday, because I looked at the lineups and I just felt Europe are outsiders, and I don't think they should be. I felt they should be favourites. Now, the singles tomorrow is historically America get more points historically, but I wouldn't be surprised. And I hope I'm right, if Europe could tie most of this up today.
Let's do it. And by the way, we're going to start the sledging early doors here on the weekend breakfast in talkSPORT. Cass came in this morning and he's like, USA, what's the best acronyms for USA? Useless.
Under severe attack.
Under severe attack is one we can use. Useless, stupid Americans was given to me, by the way. That was given to me. 81089, your acronyms
Get in trouble for that
USA. I'm not. Useless, silly Americans? Is that kind of? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a bit more kind.
They'll be fine.
By the way, can I tell you a really quick story, right? You know, obviously the national anthem in America. In Vegas, and I've done it a few times, go to play the main event in poker. Yeah. The World Series of Poker main event. They play the Stars and Stripes before the start of the poker tournament. They all stand up and sing the Stars and Stripes, yeah? And it's like, why? Why would you play the national anthem for a poker tournament? They do. Honestly, I found it funny. I just thought, I get you're patriotic, but come on.
We're about to play poker, lose some money, play the anthem. By the way, you should have asked them to play Ron Aveen for you.
Oh, well.
Oh, that would have gone off. USA, your acronyms this morning, please. Let's keep it kindish. 81089. Useless, silly Americans. It's just legend. It's all for the benefit of the Ryder Cup. 81089. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up, we'll get into what's coming up in the Premier League today. Good morning. morning, you're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Name that tune. Name it. Name it.
I don't know.
Name the singer.
I recognise it's not
Go on.
Swifty, is it?
No. Close though. Very, very close. In no way whatsoever.
Go on.
Avril Lavigne. It's her birthday today. She's 41 today.
Okay. I don't know her.
You'd never heard of Avril Lavigne?
No.
Get out. She had some bangers, by the way.
Well, she may have done, but I heard the song, but I wouldn't know who it was.
Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? You would know Skater. He was a skater boy. Said see you later, boy.
Yeah, I probably heard some of the music, but honestly, as you get older, Shebahn, and one day you'll be there, is where that some of the music of today you listen to and you'll recognise it through your kids, but you won't actually know. Ask me Drake, I'm not bad. Honestly. One Dance, Hotline Bling.
Hello.
Yeah, so that's for my youngest.
Sam, remember this for tomorrow.
And what is it?
Quiz for Cass.
Not called Pineapple.
Pineapple.
No, the other song he had. Not Pineapple. I always said, but it's like. Anyway, I'll get it in a minute. But I'm not bad on Drake.
Drake's biggest fan, Tony Cascarino, here today. Happy birthday, Avril Lavigne. She's 41. Passion fruit, you're talking.
Passion fruit. That was it.
Pineapple.
Passion fruit.
It's very, very similar.
Yeah.
Very, very close. Oh, lovely stuff. Happy birthday, Avril Lavigne. She's Canadian, by the way. Always thought she was American.
So is Drake.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, see?
So is Justin Bieber. So is Shania Twain. Oh my God, we could be here all day. But we've got more pressing matters to look ahead to, and a brilliant weekend in the Premier League on the way today.
Dan's gone into the penalty area, punishes them, rolls the ball into the bottom corner.
I feel like we're just growing as a group. The relationships are forming, the understanding of what we're trying to achieve.
We need to win the next one, and that is the most important feeling that we have to take for the next week.
It's finished at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1.
Pedro Porro, deep delivery. Richarlison nods it on, and Tottenham lead. Well, what a start this is!
I would like us to get there where we can compete in all 4 tournaments throughout a year.
Wolves remain bottom and remain pointless. Wolves 1, Leeds 3.
Lays it back to Alcaraz! Lovely goal!
We want to try and look up and see if we can challenge a lot of the top teams.
3 straight defeats at home, and with Everton and Arsenal to come, you have to say that Graham Potter is probably now fighting to save his job here.
Ryder Cup weekend and Premier League weekend for you here on talkSPORT. The first game gets underway live for you here. Brentford's against Manchester United is at 12:30, and then the 3 o'clocks are Chelsea, Brighton, Palace, Liverpool, Leeds, Bournemouth, Man City, Burnley. 5:30 is Forest against Sunderland, and then 8 o'clock Saturday night Spurs against Wolves. Tony Cascarino, which game's jumping out to you?
The first one.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Brentford, Man United straight out the bat. More so because I sometimes, Shebahn, I get, I start looking at goal scorers and Shesko and thinking, you're going to have to score. You've got to get a goal. And I've been there myself where you sign for a big club and you don't get off the ground running. And so far, he's had 8 games this season. Okay, he hasn't played in every minute of every one. But even for country, he's had eight games and he hasn't scored yet. He needs a goal badly. Like goalkeepers need to make saves early.
Yeah.
Strikers have to score.
How Cass? How does he go about having that effect today? Is it a mental thing?
Well, it becomes one. Absolutely. If you don't score and you've... Look, what, 60-odd million pounds, 66 million United played for him?
74, I think it was.
Well, yeah, I think that was euros, though, wasn't it?
Was it?
Oh, I think it was 74 million euros. And look, let's not quibble over whether it was 65 or 70 million.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's 22 years old, Benjamin Shesko, and he's got to move to... Look, he was at Leipzig, which is a big club in Germany, but he's come to a flagship club in England, which is Manchester United. And he hasn't got going yet. And he's looked a little bit off the pace, and I get it, because that happens with transfers, where players get their head turned and suddenly they're not playing their best football. But he definitely needs to get on the road of getting goals soon. He just does.
Yeah, I hope it for him, because I don't want this to be another case, and I don't want to go down the negative road of another player who's been, put up there on a pedestal, who's been a player people are excited to see at Manchester United, and then it just doesn't work out. There's been so many of late.
Yeah, that's happened over the last 5-8 years, where players are not played to their full potential, you know. So for him, and a trickier game, but the way they beat Chelsea, you know, the manner of their result, and then going to Brentford, which they've had some pretty horrific performances over the last few years, and getting beaten. Brentford are not on a particularly great run themselves at the minute since the, you know, sort of beating Aston Villa. They've really struggled, haven't they? Yeah,
it's the Mbirmo derby today too, who I think has been an excellent
his work rate is brilliant, and he was up to speed immediately when he joined Man United. Yeah. He really was. He was. Cunha's stuttered a little bit, but I think there's a real player in there anyway, so he'll shine for them, I'm sure.
Absolutely. 11 o'clock here today. All of the build-up from the G-Tech with Reshman Chowdhury here on GameDay live on talkSPORT. Kick-off for Brentford against Man United is 12:30 today here on talkSPORT. And then there's a bit of a Kyle Walker derby as well today, because Manchester City take on Burnley Cast at 3 o'clock today. So he's set for the City reunion. His former manager Pep Guardiola has heaped praise on Kyle Walker, his former right back.
One of the greatest in terms of consistency and no injuries, and play every single game. Incredible figure in the locker room. So I kind of don't analyze for 1 week, 1 month, and like 9 years, 8 years I've been with us. In 8 years, 6 Premier League, Champions League, I don't know, 18 titles. Always being there in the good moments, bad moments. So Kyle, it's, of course, the last season was tough for everyone, for him, for all of us, but I don't judge one behavior for a short period of time. It was unbelievable.
Would Walker be up with like Zanetti or Cafu or Lilian Thuram?
One of the greatest fullbacks ever, yeah. When you had to control that side, when you controlled that side with the wingers, and when he was focused, oh my God. I just slept like a baby before the games. I was Kyle there.
Lots of love from Pep. Yeah. Kyle Walker.
Rightly so. Kyle Walker's been a fantastic fullback for Manchester City, and hopefully he can keep it going with Burnley, because outstanding pace and strength was just his standout figure of Kyle Walker's game, and he managed that. Look, at one period he was a really attacking right back, and as he got a little bit older and a little bit more disciplined in the way City played, a bit more conservative. But he reminds me of, you know, Ashley Cole was one of the best left backs I've ever seen. That was tremendous for Arsenal and Chelsea as a player on the left side. Kyle Walker's been that on the right. Is he the best now? No, but then he's in, 33, 34 now, Kyle? But he's been an absolute, you know, a superb player.
Yeah, you cannot take that away from Kyle Walker. Maybe one of the best in the world, says Pep Guardiola. Don't forget, we're bringing you the 2 commentaries from those games today here on talkSPORT. Brentford Man United is at 12:30, and also Spurs against Wolves, 8 o'clock here on talkSPORT. And here is what else is coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. After us, Max and Charlie bringing you the warm-up from 9 o'clock through to 11, and then it's the Game Day exclusive 11 o'clock live and exclusive commentary here on talkSPORT. Here's Reshman.
Hello everybody, join me from the G-Tech as Brentford take on Manchester United live and exclusively on talkSPORT. I'll be alongside Sam Matterface and the former England captain Stuart Pearce. Our build-up starts at 11. Make sure you tune in. Kick-off is at 12:30 on Game Day exclusive.
Be there or be square. Don't miss it. Over on talkSPORT 2, your home of the EFL. 2 more live games there. Coventry take on Birmingham at 12:30, and then it's Southampton versus Middlesbrough at 3 o'clock over on talkSPORT 2. We'll be getting into the EFL in the next 15 minutes on the show, and then on talkSPORT 2, Game Day Live with Adrian Dunham taking you around the grounds. All of the goals as they happen in the Prem and beyond at 5:30. Jamie and Jason taking your calls on today's football on the Game Day phone-in. And then, as we mentioned earlier on, it's Spurs against Wolves, 7:30 for the build-up, 8 o'clock kick-off here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll get your USA acronyms. They're not so kind. I'm not surprised. And we'll also build up to Middlesbrough. Big game today. We're going to be on the supporters coach next on Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. Cass, don't forget, over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear the grand final of the Aussie Rules AFL between the Geelong Cats and the Brisbane Lions from the MCG. You can tune into talkSPORT 2 right now for Aussie Rules on the AFL. You can download the talkSPORT app, swipe over to talkSPORT 2 to get all of our commentary of that. Some of your other headlines you're waking up to from the Premier League this weekend. Harry Kane scored twice in Bayern Munich's win over Werder Bremen on Friday to become the fastest player this century to reach 100 goals for a club playing in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. There's the reports he's got this clause in his contract. Do you think you'll see him back in the Prem?
Yeah, I always said when he left that he will be back. It's who he comes back to. I mean, there's very few options apart from Spurs, really, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, this is sad news. Ferrari driver Lewis Hamilton has pulled out of a Formula One tyre test with Pirelli to be with his dog Roscoe, who's in a coma.
Yeah, I saw that in the paper. Yeah.
Shame. And where are our reporters going today? We've got them all out and about. State your name and where you're off to. Go for it.
Hi, I'm Mark Wilson. I'll be at Ellen Road this afternoon as Leeds United take on Bournemouth. Leeds on the back of that big win at Wolves last week. That's their second win on their Premier League return. They're unbeaten and yet to concede at Ellen Road. Bournemouth arrive at 4 unbeaten in the Premier League and won at Spurs recently. They're in the top 4. Should be a cracker at Ellen Road as Leeds United take on Bournemouth.
Thank you very much. Mark Wilson ahead of his side's trip to Ellen Road. Bournemouth manager Andoni Areola praised the start of all 3 promoted clubs this season.
Is the most points they had between the 3 in this moment for the last 20-something years. So it puts more difficult not to stay in this league to the others. And I think it's going to be expensive points-wise.
He's right. It's not been a disappointing, not been the best start, but it's not been the worst start for the promote sides.
No, not at all. They've done well. And look, they spent quite a lot of money, all of them, and assembled good squads. So, you can't always go because of what happened the year before. Or 2 years before, where teams get relegated to get promoted straight out the next season. There is reasons. You look, Leeds, Sunderland and Burnley have done a lot of work to make sure they're going to go against that trend.
Yeah.
And they've done it well so far. I mean, I saw the game with Leeds at Wolves and, For a team that didn't look like they got many goals, Calvert-Lewin getting a big goal for them, that was a big thing for him.
Yeah.
You know, and the type of header he can get. If he stays fit, I'm sure he'll do a great job for them. But he's got to stay fit. You know, you look at certain players and you go, how many games will he play for us this season? They had that with Bamford before, didn't they? Patrick Bamford was a good striker for Leeds, got lots and lots of goals. But by the end of his time there, he just missed too much football.
We'll keep you posted on all of these games as they happen here today. Game Day live with Adrian Durham from 2:30 here on talkSPORT. 81089, by the way, is the text number for your acronyms on USA. Cass came up with this idea this morning. Just fun sledging, okay? But none of you have taken it for fun. You've been messaging all sorts of abuse. Some of them I just can't read. Lots of... You know, so we know where we're going with that. Somebody here with no name, underperforming sausage advocate. What? Undereducated, silly and arrogant. That's from Daniel. Craig from Airdrie saying USA, you, with the U, suck again. Suck's getting a lot of mentions in here. Utter sanctimonious bleep. That's from Skidda this morning. Morning, Shebahn and Tony from Shannon. Let's be loud and proud Europeans in New York against useless swing attempt, ugly shot approach, unnecessary shout. Have a great weekend from Shannon and Luton. You can keep these acronyms coming in. USA. You started that.
Well, I started. I was when I was watching it yesterday, and I kept hearing USA, and I'm thinking, come on, you've got to have something else, there's something new to this. And then I started thinking, do an acronym of USA, and started thinking myself, but like always, the listeners put in far better ones than I thought of.
Yeah, a little bit more abusive as well.
Or, it's near the line, but it's sledging.
It's sledging. It's fun. By the way, I don't know if you've seen this. If you have just woken up, there's clips of Rory McIlroy on social media swearing, like giving the finger to some of the American fans. Do you think he's going to get in a bit of trouble for this? Will he need to apologise?
No, I find it one of the big things in life where so many people swear, and you watch television and how and listen to radio, and obviously we have to we'll run by the guidelines, and we have to be very, very careful. But generally, sports men, women, they lose it.
Yeah.
When you're under intense pressure and you're getting stick, sometimes you lose it. Just ask Eric Cantona. You can go, not condoning what he did, but you will sometimes get a reaction that you were not expecting. And Rory does wear his heart on his sleeve. He really does. And I sometimes wonder, because he's married to an American wife, I just sometimes, that in the home, the obviously she'd be very patriotic towards America to some degree. You just do. I was married to a French woman, and she was very patriotic towards France. And sometimes you'd have a little clash about it, because we all stereotype. We're all guilty of doing it. And it's just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, he's lost it. He's flipped the bird. He doesn't care. He's walked off. He's thinking, I'm not going to have you speak to me like that and say the things that they do.
That's the problem. If you're going to carry on and think you can get away with doing anything and saying anything, don't be surprised if you get a reaction.
Yeah, I kind of like it from Rory McIlroy. And like you mentioned earlier on, Cass, it's all about that character as well. Right, you're listening to The Weekend Breakfast. It's time now for this.
Yeah, I know this.
I don't.
Talking Heads.
No.
Road to Nowhere.
Name me one of the Talking Heads.
David Byrne, lead singer.
David Byrne, lead singer.
David Byrne.
I need to Google him.
So I'm sure it's David Byrne, yeah.
Oh.
Lead singer of Talking Heads.
You're right, you're dead right. Sam just assured me. You're very right about that. We're back on the road again. Time to get onto the supporters coach this morning. This is where the proper fans are up early, 5 o'clock on their bus heading to the game today. It's a 605-mile round trip. Not too bad. Borough flying high, leading the championship by 4 points in early, going under new manager Rob Edwards. Middlesbrough fans heading to Southampton today for their next game. 12:30 kickoff. It's live on talkSPORT 2. We're going on to the supporters coach this morning with Borough fan John Donovan. Sorry, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. John, my God, you're on the road very early. Good morning.
Go on then, I'm having to keep my eyes open.
Okay, he already cracks me up. Supporters Coach, by the way, you can see it all on the CTV if you've got a smart telly or the talkSPORT YouTube channel. John, how many of you are on the bus today?
We've got 15.
15?
Down to Southampton. 5-0.
Oh, wow. Fair play, fair play. It looks like a very calm coach this morning. Can I get a bit of a rowdy up the borough? Anyone?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Shout up the borough.
Oh, love it. And also when we're live on the road, these things cut out, Cass, so you're going to give their signal a 1 out of 10 later on.
Well, so far, you haven't been beating the league, John, have you? And, you're going well. And, look, you've had some tricky times over the years. Michael Carrick was in, but Rob Edwards now. And do you feel it's anything different from what's happened?
Yeah, definitely. There seems to be a greater amount of spirit. Last year under Michael Carrick, we were a bit demoralised towards the end of the season. We struggled in games that we took the lead in. I think we lost 24 or 25 points from the winning position. It was difficult, We really sort of lost our heart, lost our fight, and teams such as, especially in the second half of the season. This season it seems totally different. Rob Edwards just got everybody together. They're working so hard. I mean, apart from the West Brom, the last away game was Preston, where we had to come from behind twice. The second goal was in the 88th minute, I think it was. Now, last season, that game would have been lost, but we found enough character within the team to come back and snatch a point to remain unbeaten in the league.
And you lot are up for it. John, you're on the Supporters Coach every weekend. You don't miss a game, I believe. It's quite a group that you've got there. 605-mile round trip today. John, you won't be seeing any of the golf at this rate.
Well, on the way home we will, yeah. But yeah, it is a long trip. Normally we would stay over, do a night over, but it was really expensive for hotels. I'm led to believe there's a major event on in Southampton, something to do with sailing a boat or something. So the hotels were very expensive. And yes, I could have got a few rooms, but with taking a coach, I've got about 20 odd rooms, and it's a little bit difficult. So we decided on just a trip there and back in the day. It's going to be exhausting. I'm sure there's a lot of people will be sleeping on the way home, but yeah, you don't miss the match there.
Well, listen, you're up for that. I can see all the people around you as well, like different age groups as well. That's the beauty of a supporters coach. It's everyone just kind of coming together in a good atmosphere. John, get your troops one more time. Up the borough, live on talkSPORT.
They're not listening.
They're not listening. Guys, you're live on the radio. You're bringing down the borough fans' troops.
I'll have to say, come on, Borough boys.
Oh, well done, John Donovan. Have a good one today. Hopefully, Borough do the business for you.
Goodbye, John.
Take care. I like going on the supporters coach.
Yeah, but
they're very calm.
It feels like, in some way, you can be a supporter of a football club and you can watch them from the outside and the TV and just go to home games. The away support is just unreal.
Yeah.
That thousands will go somewhere that's the other side of the country, give up the whole weekend or certainly all of Saturday and probably shattered into Sunday for their football team.
Yeah. It must have been about...
it's insane sometimes, I think.
A young boy sitting next to his dad.
Next to his dad. He looked about 10 or 11, maybe 12.
He's been woken up probably half 4.
And he wants to go as well.
And he wants to do it. By the way, you can give us a call, 03717 223344. And if you're on a supporters coach this morning and you're doing a big trip, you can get in touch with the guys and we'll try and get your coach on the show in the next week or the next couple of weeks or so. 81089. If you'd rather send a text message, don't forget we're your home of the EFL. 3 o'clock today. talkSPORT 2 is that game for Middlesbrough against Southampton. I hope John says hello to Rob Edwards for us. is the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne alongside Bromley's finest. Celtic's Tony Cascarino. Some of your other headlines this morning. England face Canada, of course, at Twickenham. In the Women's Rugby World Cup final today, the Red Roses looking to extend their 32-game winning record and win their first World Cup since 2014. What is it, 87,000 at Twickenham today? Complete sellout.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's absolutely brilliant. Good luck to them and the two-time remaining...
It's number 1 and 2 in the world, isn't it, as well?
Canada number 2?
I think they are. I think they're seeded number 2 in the world at the moment.
Because they knocked out the Black Ferns, didn't they?
Right.
And they were favourites.
Right.
I think they were favourites as well. Good luck to the Red Roses today, and also the two-time remaining unbeaten sides in the Premier League go head-to-head. And a replay of the Community Shield. Liverpool travels south to Crystal Palace, and talkSPORT's chief football reporter Alex Crook will be there for us this afternoon.
I'm Alex Crook, off to Selhurst Park to see the only 2 teams in the Premier League yet to taste defeat this season. Palace are protecting a long unbeaten run of 17 matches as they host champions Liverpool. The big question is, does Alexander Isak finally get his first start as a Liverpool player in the wake of Hugo Ekitike's brainless red card in midweek? Leanne Sanderson will be alongside me for this one as Crystal Palace host Liverpool.
Brainless? Ouch.
Well, it was, sometimes players do daft things, and Ekitike's second yellow was daft.
You knew it in the second that he took the top off. He's realised, he's looked back. His teammates are like, what are you doing, you idiot? And it's just such a mistake, but it's also a stupid rule anyway that you get a yellow for taking the top off.
Yeah, I think so.
All of it's stupid.
Yeah, there's other celebrations have been watered down, haven't they, in recent years of how far players go. There's one thing doing an Adebayo or running across the length of the pitch and in front of the Arsenal fans when he was a City player to taking your shirt off. I think if you just be careful slightly with inciting fans, if you're rubbing it in their faces. We're laughing this morning a bit of sledging,
Yeah.
Just don't take it too far.
I know, and it was a tap-in. It was Keys' magic, really. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know what he was doing there, but he's left himself in a bit of a situation. And today they go to Palace.
Yeah.
I've got a funny feeling, Palace could do the business here or get something from this game. And if they do, that'll be 18 games.
Yeah,
unbeaten.
frightening.
That's brilliant.
And how well they done now. Look, the manager is superb at setting the team up of how how to get results, and I just think fair play to them. You look at their back line, Lacroix, Richards, Gay, Mitchell, Muniz, all of them 5, they've kept them, and they are a big part. And I'd give a big shout out as well for Dean Henderson.
Yeah.
I think he's really underrated from when he was at Manchester United, how he played when he went to Sheffield United, went back, thought he'd get the number 1 spot, didn't. But he's done brilliantly well for Crystal Palace, Henderson. And they've got, they've done well because they've also had to sell players.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right about that. We'll see how this one goes today. Alex Crook's going to be there for us alongside Leanne Sanderson. All the updates on GameDay Live from 2:30. Also, what's happening today is the EFL. We're home of the EFL over on talkSPORT 2. Last night, a 93rd minute own goal from Nat Phillips gifted Leicester City a dramatic draw with West Brom Albion in the Championship. To discuss that, last night's game and look ahead to the weekend, EFL expert Jack Woodward is with us now. Good morning, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Good morning. How are you guys? Okay?
Yeah, we're good. Well, I have to be honest, Jack. I was Ryder Cupped out. I just didn't see West Brom versus Leicester. So you're going to have to lead it by example today.
Well, I mean, as you rightly said there, West Brom led the game for an awfully long time. Really good goal, actually, from Illing Jr., who's on loan from Villa. So not much of a trip for him to make that loan move. But yeah, Leicester hung in there. West Brom had a host of chances and they just weren't clinical enough. They'll be ruining that. They'll see it as 2 drop points, even though it was a Midlands derby. And we've got another one to come up at lunchtime, Coventry against Birmingham, which is definitely one to relish. Coventry are actually the top scorers, but a lot of that came from one game when they put QPR to the swords. And Birmingham have started pretty well, haven't they? So, isn't
it amazing that QPR get beat 7 at Coventry, then win their next 3?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right, Tony. And actually, that's a real sign of character, isn't it? To get dismantled like that and go on and win your next 3 games. And today they go to Hillsborough and Sheffield Wednesday. Their problems are much documented. Had a really good win at Portsmouth. And I think the Owls, with the difficulties they're having, are probably enjoying playing away from home more because the away support is well known for Wednesday. They've got the boycotts and the protests at home, so they haven't picked up any points there. So QPR will see that as an opportunity today, I think, to get a 4th straight win.
Where else is the standout fixtures for you today, Jack?
Well, you've got to look at Middlesbrough, haven't you? Unbeaten start. Rob Edwards looks a very shrewd move to appoint him. He's got experience of getting promoted before. They're at Southampton. It's a long journey for them, but the Borough fans won't mind making it, given how well they're playing. I covered quite a few Borough games in pre-season, and the fans were getting frustrated and exasperated. Poor results, no signings, but they just had to bide their time. The way Rob has bedded in the new signings with the talent already there has been great. Finn Azaz actually will play against his old club in that game, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares. But Sheffield United, can they get their first point? And they're at Oxford, Chris Wilder's old club. So surely the Blades will start to come good under a familiar boss. But Charlton, I covered their game last week, and they did a really good job on Sheffield United. So not a good time for the Steel City at the moment, is it, in the Championship?
I know. It's going to be a great day all the same. Jack Woodward, our EFL expert, thank you so much for your time this morning. Hope it all goes well for you. Live on talkSPORT 2, 12:30, Coventry against Birmingham, and then 3 o'clock on talkSPORT 2, Southampton against Middlesbrough is our commentaries on the network today. talkSPORT 2, your home of the EFL every Saturday. And coming up next, we'll continue our build-up to the Premier League weekend. Good morning. It's Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
The first edition was held in 1927, where a Great Britain team arrived by boat to play in Massachusetts at the Worcester Country Club. Originally, the competition comprised of 4 foursomes and 8 singles, with 4 balls not introduced until 1963. In the first 22 editions, when it was just Brits and Irish against the US, America only lost 3. So, in 1979, in came the rest of Europe, including the future 5-time Ryder Cup winner, Seve Ballesteros. Since Team Europe was established, the head-to-head reads Europe 13, USA 9. Home advantage is a big deal. Europe's last away win was the miracle at Medina in 2012, and America hasn't won on European soil since '93 at the Belfry. It's accepted that both teams tailor their home courses to suit their own players. For example, in Paris in 2018, Thomas Bjorn asked for the rough to be kept extra long beyond the green to target the big booming American drives. 10 years earlier, Paul Azinger did the opposite, and the Valhalla rough was trimmed right down. On both occasions, the home side were resounding winners. So what about the money? The most recent Ryder Cup in Rome drew in a record 271,000 spectators and boosted the Italian economy by €262 million. In the US, the PGA America TV deal with NBC is worth $440 million. But no Ryder Cup revenue has ever gone directly to individual players. That's until now. In 2025, for the first time ever, the US team will each receive a fee for playing in New York. Of course, in Rome, legend has it Patrick Cantley refused to wear his cap because he wasn't being paid to wear it, though he insisted it simply didn't fit. Either way, Team Europe have made it clear they're more than happy to keep playing for the sheer thrill, joy and prestige of the Ryder Cup.
Good morning, welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Saturday the 27th of September, it's just gone 7. It's Shebahn with you alongside the legend that is Millwall Hall of Famer for the 4th time.
Not a Millwall, but for the 4th time.
In another Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
So they don't like reinduct you every 10 years? Like, come on, you're still a legend. We still love you.
Yeah, it was a great night. That was Monday night.
So Monday night, what happened? Tell us that.
Well, I went to the Millwall game and they played Watford at home, which they won 1-0, which was great. And I was inducted along with Scott Fitzpatrick and Paul Robinson at Millwall. 2 players that played for Millwall and work. Paul and Scott still work for Millwall now. So brilliant for them. Great chatting to them. And and got a reception at half time. And it was good. Really nice night.
It must be nice, Cass, like to always be recognised by a fan base and appreciated for the job you did for them.
Yeah, it took about 35 years to get there, but but no, it's a great honour and a real privilege. Yeah.
And you also had a plaque.
Yeah, that was something I didn't know, but this was done at the Rockingham Estate, which is in Elephant and Castle. So it's not like a heritage plaque. It's more of a where the estate where my nan and granddad lived, which is just you come up the Old Kent Road. Everyone knows London who lives around here, but for people around the country, it's really Elephant and Castle. It's just south side of the river. coming backwards from Westminster, and that's where my nan and granddad lived. That's where I used to practice heading the ball as a young kid, and they put a plaque up there saying Tony Cascarino used to head the ball. It's a really weird one because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it was there. So I drove up before the game and took a photo, which I put on the group
chat.
Group chat.
Oh, it's really nice.
It was a good night. Really enjoyed it.
You've had a good time of it, and I've just given him his first ever Red Bull as well.
Yeah,
You're
quite sweet.
That is a lot of sugar in it.
Cool.
I know. Sorry.
Will I have teeth by the end of the...
No, your teeth will be going and you'll be up the walls in about 10 minutes' time. Do not blame me. Whilst he's up the walls, coming up for you here on talkSPORT today, it's going to be another thriller in the Premier League, starting with Brentford against Man United this lunchtime. Ruben Amorim hopes he can finally deliver back-to-back wins as Man United manager.
I think the best way of dealing with that is that every game is the last one.
Come on, Ruben. Live commentary from 12:30 for you here today on talkSPORT. League leaders Liverpool will travel to Palace, who are 17 games unbeaten. It's among our games on GameDay Live. And after Hugo Ekitike misses today's game due to that careless red card against Southampton, Reds manager Arne Slot said the summer signing will learn from his mistakes.
He's young. Players of all ages do make mistakes, and that's what he did in this situation as well. But we all make mistakes, and you're allowed at this club to make a mistake.
Will it be Alexander Isak's time to shine? We'll keep you posted here on talkSPORT, and it's a big afternoon for Forest manager Ange Postecoglou, who admitted he needs to start winning games to get the Forest fans on his side.
You know, there's two ways you can win the faith and sort of trust of supporters, and is to win games of football. That's pretty easy. That's an instant. But if you're not doing that, then there needs to be something that it looks like it's encouraging, or it's something that looks like it's heading in a certain direction. And I think there's been plenty of evidence.
Ange Postecoglou, I think, saying what the people want to hear. Forest against Sunderland, 5:30 today. All of the updates on GameDay Live here on the talkSPORT network. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Ange, big Ange. Yeah, they do need a win today. I'm glad he's saying things like that. I'm glad he's saying things that are just so obvious. You need wins to get fans on side and to just show promise at the club.
Yeah, well, especially you've got a promoted team at home where you'd like to think it's a golden opportunity, although Sunderland fans and the team will like to feel they can go there and do a number on Nottingham Forest. But it's a golden opportunity for them to get. And for Ange, because, the longer it goes, it's a bit like everything I spoke about earlier with goal scoring. The longer anything goes, people get restless, get upset, and then get critical. So that's what sport is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll see how that one goes today. Forest take on Sunderland 5:30. Let's talk about the Chelsea-Brighton game.
Yeah.
3:00 this afternoon. And of course, we'll be there on talkSPORT. Here's everything you need to know ahead of a huge game at Stamford Bridge.
I'm Ollie Klink and I'm heading to Stamford Bridge for Chelsea against Brighton. The Blues are looking to bounce back from their manic loss to Manchester United last week, but they are unbeaten in their last 12 top-flight home games. Meanwhile, Brighton have picked up just one league win this season and are yet to pick up a point on their travels. I'll have former Watford captain Troy Deeney alongside me for Chelsea against Brighton.
Looking forward to that one, Cass. I mean, there's a bit of pressure on Chelsea to bounce back after what happened against Man United. They were not at their best.
No, and I saw a lot of Chelsea last season, and I came away thinking I never saw a 90-minute performance in them, Shebahn. I always saw periods in games where they really play well, individuals doing, some of their great stuff, but they're not convincing as a team over 90 minutes. And I think that's let them down at times. I thought they were poor at Old Trafford, and I know they went to 10 men, and eventually Manchester United did as well. But I still feel, I think Maresca got things wrong, and I was more bothered by the Neto substitution early on, because one player you want, and people, Cole Palmer has clearly been injured, so we've learnt in midweek he's going to be out for longer. But Neto is someone you want. When you go 10 men, he's exactly the type of player you want to keep on, because he carries the ball, he keeps it, he makes runs in behind. And Chelsea went with 5 at the back, which I didn't think suited them, and they offered no threat at all when they had the player sent off. So, tough one. Brighton have got a couple of issues. I just want to mention one player because I really like him. It's Carlos Baleba, who's a midfielder who's had his head turned in the summer with potential move. When you're 21 years old, just get on with your football. And if it doesn't happen, you move. You've got plenty of time. And Brighton are a selling club. They will sell players. OK, it'll be for a high premium, but they will sell players along the way.
Mm-hmm.
They just do. That's their model. They churn players out, in and out of the football club, and you've got a chance of playing. Just get on with playing for Brighton, establish yourself at Brighton, and then if you play well enough, someone will come and buy you.
So you're not seeing the belief.
Well, he got substituted against Tottenham at half-time last week because the manager saw him as a problem because he's not performing to what we saw last season and how capable he is. He's a really top player. He's a 21-year-old who's come to a new country to play football and had a great season last year. This year, because there was a lot of rumours in the summer that Manchester United were kind of, prepared to make a big bid for him, then he gets his head turned and then he plays his worst football. You've got to get over it really quickly. Get over yourself. Think about long term and how well you can do for Brighton. And if you do well enough, you're 21 years old. Something will happen when you're 23, 24.
Yeah, good point. Going back to Chelsea, Cole Palmer, Enzo Maresca had said in his press conference, they've got to be so cautious with them. We likely won't see Cole Palmer back in the pitch until after the international break. Do you think maybe the Club World Cup is now maybe starting to catch up on the squad?
Maybe. I think, Shebahn, you play a lot of football, and if one squad's built enough to be capable of, overcoming the problems of having a Club World Cup, it's Chelsea. They have got so many players in all different positions they can utilise in their team. So I wouldn't think it sort of sits well with a lot of people that people feel, Chelsea are paying a price. I don't think they are. And this goes back to last season and what I started with. I just don't see a 90 minutes consistent performance from a very talented squad of players. They've got, they've had so many wingers and forwards to choose from. And yes, they've had a number of injuries, which is unfortunate. But I wouldn't associate every injury because of the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on then bouncing back today? Do you think he'll make changes?
Well, I would imagine Chelsea's forward line, I think Garnacho will come back in, João Pedro, Neto. I think them three are really dangerous. There's a lot of pace there, quite direct. Fernandes in midfield, obviously alongside Caicedo. They've got so much talent.
Some squad.
Yeah, and that's without some of the young lads they can put in as well.
Sixth in the Premier League table just now are Chelsea on 8 points. So they've got a fair bit of catching up to do because coming into this campaign, they were favourites for top four. Enzo Maresca is a good manager.
Well, he'll lose his job if they don't get top four.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, the investment they've done, and yes, they brought in money as well, but Chelsea, Maresca won't survive at Chelsea if you don't get them in the Champions League.
We're going to have updates from Chelsea against Brighton on game day from 2:30 this afternoon. Coming up for you next, we're going to look inside today's back pages. A lot of Ryder Cup chat, of course. It's Ryder Cup weekend. We're also going to hear from Lioness legend Lucy Bronze as well. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. Good morning. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on YouTube. We're on your smart TV. Oh, here, that could be our new karaoke song, Cass.
What, won't do anything for love?
Yeah. Because she comes into it later on, doesn't she?
Yeah. What's her name?
She's got a name. I'm sure she's got a name. What's her name again?
I can't remember her name.
Forget the name. Do you know, I just looked at former Nancy striker on the script and I thought, her name's Nancy. It's Nancy. It's not. Happy birthday. It would have been Meatloaf's birthday today.
Yeah.
Oh, he had some absolute crackers, didn't he?
Yeah. Was it Battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Was that the album? Wasn't it called that, Battle, the album? I was never a Meatloaf fan.
Really?
Yeah, didn't like the taste. No.
Oh my God.
No,
Dad joke of the day.
No, I wouldn't have bought a Meatloaf record, just not my cup of tea.
Oh, love Meatloaf. Oh, I'm surprised to hear you say that. I thought you'd have been rocking out.
No.
A bit of Meatloaf. By the way, her name is Lorraine Crosby.
Oh, right, okay.
Didn't strike me as a Lorraine Crosby. My version might be better. We'll find out at the Christmas karaoke night here on talkSPORT. Right, we've always got time for a coffee for breakfast, and if you're up and about at this time, you've probably had one already. I don't drink coffee. Do you like? You love coffee, don't you?
Now and again, but because I've got a cough, I know that the coffee sets me off.
You put the cough in coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But this one is particularly special today. It's an infused blend of Irish notes and Bromley's finest beans. It's Hall of Fame winning blend as we sit and enjoy a cappuccino with Tony Cascarino.
It's time for a cappuccino with Tony Cascarino.
Hey, ChatGPT, where'd that come from? It's cute. Time for a cappuccino. Okay, we're in the coffee shop, and you've got a few stories for us, because earlier on this week we heard from the legend Boris Becker on talkSPORT Breakfast. He was with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy. So here you go.
I think so. You know, when I was playing tennis, I was most comfortable in the fifth set. I was most comfortable in a tie break. You know, when the going got tough, I thought that I was okay with it. And I think that mentality of surviving a difficult moment on the court, I think helped me a lot in prison, of saying, I don't know how I'm going to survive, but I will survive, and I will do anything necessary to do so. You know, I'm a father of 4. You know, my wife, we're expecting our first child together in December. So there's a lot of responsibility for me, you know, with my sister and her kids. So I couldn't just say, I'm going to give in. I'm going to give up. I have to find a way. And I think that was something that helped me on a tennis court a lot.
It was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
With Ali and Alan. Boris Becker saying that being under pressure in the court prepared him for prison, or helped him through.
Yeah.
And whatever like that. But you have a bit of a Boris Becker story of your own?
Yeah, well, I did an event. And by the way, I've got to say, Boris was a lovely man. I spent an hour in a car with him, and we chatted and laughed. And
why?
Well, I was at a poker event called Dust Till Dawn, which is the venue. For work. We got offered to work for PokerStars and being entered into a tournament. So me and Boris played, and we were staying at the same hotel. I knew Boris was there, but I went to the venue by taxi. So we played the tournament. At the end of the night, you have to bag up all your chips for the next day. So you bag them all up. And then the lady from PokerStars said to me, oh, Boris is here. And I said, well, I need a taxi back. And she went, I think Boris has got his car. So I'll ask him, he'll take you. And she asked him, and Boris said, oh yeah, I'll take Tony, no problem. So we got in the car, and bearing in mind that it was about an 8 or 10 minute journey, I couldn't remember the way from where the hotel, because I came in a taxi to the venue. So I get in the car, and Boris has got this Maserati, and we sit there, and I said, it's only about 8 or 10 minutes. So he puts the sat-nav on, bearing in mind it's about 10 years ago. But he puts the sat-nav, and it's all in German on the car. So off we go. We press to get back to the hotel, and we keep getting lost. Right? It hasn't recognised. So I'm sure it's been updated since then, but it didn't recognise. We've ended up talking about everything, all his life, his sort of escapades, and the £2 or £3 million cupboard experience. And honestly, me and him are laughing, and it took us nearly an hour to get back to the hotel where he was with Boris, where we stayed. And it was just such great company. I could see, because I tell you what was amazed me about Boris was that he was so open and free.
Yeah.
And that's got him in trouble. Because he was just, he trusted everybody. And I'm not just saying, he didn't know me, but I got in the car and we just chatted. And he was a very good footballer as well, by the way. He could have had a chance of being a professional. That was him saying that, but other people have said that to me in the past, that he was a decent footballer. Wow. But it was just his whole demeanour, and he's so laid back about everything. No problem. Oh, yeah, okay. We're getting in. And honestly, we're laughing because the sat-nav, I keep saying, we'll switch over the sat-nav to English. Maybe we'll find the hotel, Boris.
Oh.
But we had to really 1 hour of hilarious conversation. Half of it I can't repeat, but it was just Boris being Boris.
That's the bits I really need to hear off air, the bits that you can't repeat.
Well, just his escapades and how it got him in trouble.
What a life.
I knew he had, at the time he had a serious ankle issue, and he was having an ankle surgery, and I'd also read pieces in the paper that he'd had a little bit of trouble, and I didn't know if it was through gambling. I didn't delve into that side of it, but we had long chats about fame, and especially his fame, because he was at 17 such a big star, and dealing with that, and then who you trust along the way, you get misled. And he admitted it was his own fault as well. He got himself in serious trouble.
Fascinating.
Yeah, but he was just such a nice guy. And when it all fell apart for him, and he went bankrupt, and he ended up going in prison, I was thinking, there's a lot more there that I didn't know about. That obviously he didn't want to tell me, and I shouldn't been told anyway. But
fascinating, just you and Boris Becker in a car.
Yeah, in his Maserati
with your German sat nav going nowhere.
Well, he was married. I don't know if he said he's just had the latest, but he told me that one of the things was funny. He was married to a Dutch lady, and they lived in Wimbledon. And he said Germany played Holland. He drove home one day, and he said she had all the Dutch flags outside the windows. He said, I got in, I took them all down. When Germany played Holland.
Brilliant. He's got a new book out as well.
Yeah.
Is Boris Becker. It was good to have him on talkSPORT earlier on in the week, and he ended the interview talking about second chances, and he's learned his lesson.
Everyone should have a second chance.
Yeah.
Look, unless it's something incredibly serious.
Yeah.
Look, people make mistakes.
Yeah. And on he goes to the next. Fascinating. Tony Cascarino's story with Boris Becker, a cappuccino with Cascarino. That was a nice little listen. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Up next, the Gallagher Prem is back. We're going to discuss the first weekend of matches and look ahead to the Women's Rugby World Cup final. Can the Red Roses get the job done? Topsy Ojo joins us next. A very good morning to you. Hope you're having a good Saturday so far. Bright and early Ryder Cup weekend. Lots of football happening, all kicking off in the Premier League at Brentford against Manchester United, 12:30 here on talkSPORT, and all of the updates from the Ryder Cup coming out of New York as well for you here. This is the Weekend Breakfast. Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. By the way, right now, over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear the grand final of Aussie Rules AFL between the Geelong Cats and the Brisbane Lions, live from the MCG over on talkSPORT 2 right now. If you haven't already, download the talkSPORT app. You can easily swipe across there for the commentary and come back here for us for more coffees with Tony Cascarino. Cass, who wins in a fight?
Go on.
One lion or 100 cats?
Well, a lion is a cat.
Yeah, but 100 normal house cats or one lion? Who wins?
A cat. I don't know. The cats.
100 cats beats a lion. Just claw them up.
Why is that? Is that a trick question?
I think it's just because of the Geelong Cats and the Brisbane Lions.
Oh, right. Okay.
Where we've just been really, really creative with that.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Did you ever hear that one man versus gorilla? 100 men versus one gorilla.
Wins, yeah.
Is that who you went for, the gorilla?
Well, I would suppose so, because I think a gorilla's like 10 times stronger than a man, isn't he? Or apparently so, even more.
We're going to have to try and just see that live and see
but
actually
even 100 men, could they stop a gorilla? I don't think the gorilla would be frying men off.
Yeah.
They're incredibly strong.
Really makes you think, doesn't it?
They're unreal gorillas.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just thinking about 100 moggies now in one line. Anyway, some of your other headlines this morning. Harry Kane scored twice in Bayern Munich's win over Werder Bremen on Friday to become the fastest player this century to reach 100 goals for the club, playing in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. Outstanding. Team Europe captain Luke Donald said he's very happy after a thrilling opening day of golf's Ryder Cup, leading the USA 5.5 to 2.5. Do you think it's going to be job done, Tony Cascarino, at the Ryder Cup for Team Europe?
Obviously, if they have a good day today, yeah, I think it will be. I mentioned character. I just don't know if this American team have got the characters that the Europeans have. I think there's too many that just feel quite bland and low-key, even though the fans and everyone's going mad and demanding. I don't think the team's playing like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we had it all up on the USA yesterday, and ahead of his side's trip to the City Ground today, Sunderland manager Regis Lebris stressed the importance of the fans' support in their bid to stay up this season.
This is one of the key pillars of our identity. So Sunderland is made with this support, and if we don't use it properly, doesn't make sense. So I think it's connected with the way we want to play. If our fans recognize the identity, the willingness, the commitment, the togetherness, that they are happy. They are more happy if we win. That's fair. But at the same time, we know that it won't be possible every time because the level is really high. At least if we are connected with this ambition, I think it will be a massive strength for us.
Regis Lebris there, speaking ahead of the game. Sunderland, I mean, he's done an incredible job from arriving at the club, stating the obvious there. But so much so, Cass, that if today they go on a 3-game unbeaten run, going into today's game, a win at the City Ground would take them to 11 points, and that would be the club's best top-flight start to a season in almost 60 years. So, I mean, he's doing something else with this team, isn't he?
Well, the investment in the summer was extraordinary. And, still keeping players that have done brilliant, for them. Isidore stayed at the football club. Lafay, I like him. I think he's a talented player on the left. So, yeah, they've done... I mean, Granit Xhaka coming into the football club, it was a real low-key signing.
And
but, like Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
That experience with a younger group. And if that works for them as well. I mean, I always like the idea of being very open-minded about the type of players you bring in. You don't have to bring all young. You bring in a mixture. And if someone with experience comes in that's going to benefit the group, you absolutely do that type of transfer.
Yeah, no, brilliant signing for the club. Sunderland going to the City Ground today. That's the 5:30 game. All of the details coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. Just looking at today's back pages for you, the Saturday morning newspapers. Reds Jota payout, late striker's family from Liverpool will be handed 14 million left on his deal. That's Dominic King, back page of the Mail today. Yeah, nice story there. Back page of the Sun. No more dread devils, Ruben Amorim. Fear we go to here we go for Amorim is Samuel Luckhurst. And then there's so much Ryder Cup action in the back pages today. All of the pictures of Trump, Thompson, Bryson, DeChambeau. I mean, when he came out, all the magas went mad, didn't they?
Well, there's a bit of a quote here from Ollie Holt, who did a column on it. He's talking about DeChambeau and Thomas set out the different sort of tone, you know, when they came out for their first match. They may have come out to the first tee just after dawn, wrapped up in the American flag like superheroes in a cloak. And that was it. That was a really funny sort of moment for me, you know, when sort of come in. They tried to set the tone, and it didn't quite work. I mean, DeChambeau didn't get any points at all yesterday, where Thomas did. But, you know, I just felt the Americans were caught up way much in the hype before it started, and they were the ones that flattened everything. The team just didn't get going.
No, you're right. I think everyone will agree with you on that. By the way, the Gallagher Prem has returned. We're going to get into the World Cup rugby final. Of course, Canada against the Red Roses today at Twickenham. But first, as we see, the Gallagher Prem is back. It started on Thursday when Sale defeated Gloucester 27-10 before last night Bath and Saracens picked up victories. To discuss all the action is our talkSPORT pundit, former London Irish wing, Topsy Ojo is with us. Morning, Topsy.
Topsy.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Very good. How are you getting on? I mean, glad to see it back.
Yeah, it's nice to have it back. I mean, it's definitely felt like a summer where there's almost been no break from rugby. Obviously, off the back of the Lions tour, we then rolled pretty much straight into the Women's Rugby World Cup, and now the men's season has started as well. So yeah, rugby's back. It's back on our TV screens, and yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
So what you're looking, what game stands out for you today in the Premiership?
Well, actually, today is all about the women. It's the World Cup finalists today. So the Prem's kind of left Saturday alone so that the World Cup final takes centre stage. We've had 3 games already. So, of course, kicked off on Friday night, which was a new one. But again, trying to give Saturday its World Cup final day. And then there's 2 more games tomorrow. So probably Bristol, Leicester, the pick of the bunch. You know, 2 teams that went very close last season and will be after the front runners who are going to be Bath. They were very, very good last night. They have some serious depth as well. So where in the first half Harlequins had them toe-to-toe, second half Bath were just able to bring on international after international and finish with a flourish. So they'll be the team to beat, but they'll be a very good chasing pack.
Saracens as well, picking up a win last night. Owen Farrell back at Saracens. I was just going through some of the papers yesterday, Topsy. You'll have seen these pictures. Him back at the club, surrounded by all the trophies that he's won. What's the expectation of Sari and Owen Farrell this season?
Well, Saracens will quietly be hoping that Owen Farrell puts that back into championship contention. They were there or thereabouts last year, but they fell away towards the back end, probably lost some games that they shouldn't have lost. And actually, they're the type of games that if Owen Farrell had been there, they probably would have got over the line. So they'll just be hoping for him to bring that leadership, that quality, that experience, and help get them back to the top table. Look, it's well within him because he's an outstanding player. As for Owen, I think he's just happy to be home. And, you know, that photo is quite iconic. The amount of trophies he picked up in his time at Saracens. So they'll be hoping for one more in the cabinet this season.
Topsy, you mentioned the women earlier, and I was reading the piece in the Mail today about Megan Jones, the Welsh player who lost her mum and dad, and talks about all her challenges along the way going into this, you know, very big game against Canada.
Yeah, it's an incredibly sad story. And it's just full credit to Meg in terms of her bravery, in terms of just speaking out about it as well, because, you know, when there's tragedy within sport, you almost don't have or aren't given enough time to grieve. You're almost on to the next game very, very quickly. And yeah, she's been very open about how hard it's been, but how she's used that fuel to really fire her. And I mean, we've seen it. Obviously, she's going to be playing in the final this afternoon. She's on the short list for player of the tournament, and it is fully deserve. She's been a linchpin for this England team in this build-up to the World Cup final. And like I say, you can't speak highly enough of her, given everything she's been through.
Yeah, she's a really good egg. We've worked with her a couple of times here at talkSPORT. She's covered a number of games with us in the rugby in the past. So good luck to them. I mean, and one thing that's really going to push them, hopefully, over the line is a sold-out Twickenham, Topsy.
Yeah, it's a world record crowd for a women's rugby match, which is going to be incredible. I think it sold out weeks ago, which everybody's delighted about. So England will have the bulk of the support. With that, yes, there is an element of pressure, but I hope it's a pressure that they rise to and enjoy and embrace. Canada will be very, very tough. Yes, we've got the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the world, but Canada have probably played the better rugby through the tournament. Now that goes all out the window. Today is just about winning. Get over the line, get your hands on that trophy. And for England, they do need to win it. I think, it would cement all the hard work that they've done up to this moment and really kind of rubber stamp some legacy going forwards.
I mean, if the Red Roses win, the Lionesses have just won again. I mean, there's so much hype for women's sport and they thoroughly deserve it. But what I've really loved is the amount of the rugby girls who've been speaking about that kind of relationship they've got with the Lionesses in terms of their sport and taking it to the next level. They've got a real relationship.
Yeah, it's been brilliant to see, and the camaraderie amongst other sports, and obviously off the back of the Lionesses, I guess they've maybe really set the tone in terms of this boom with women's sport. So what an end to the summer it would be if the Red Roses were able to emulate them and pick up a trophy of their own. So look, they're kind of inspiring one another. They're bouncing off one another and they're at each other's games. I think Mary Earps has been there a lot, Chloe Kelly as well. Leah Williamson has sent messages of support. So that camaraderie is huge. So no pressure to the Red Roses. But yeah, if they could just win today, it would be a fitting end to what's been a brilliant campaign.
Absolutely. Topsy Ojo, former London Irish wing. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Cheers,
all
Topsy.
good.
Good to see you as ever, Topsy. Take care of yourself. Good luck to Ellie Cordun and the Red Roses today. What's wrong with me, man? I've gone full English. It's weird.
No, you haven't.
Well, yeah. For a
I
minute.
don't think you'll ever be full English.
Well, in terms
Not
of
even half.
yeah, I want the Red Roses to do well. I really do.
You
Because
do?
as Topsy said, there's some really good characters, like really good people who we've worked with for so many years, and then they've got this moment at home to win a World Cup. I hope they do it. Fingers crossed for them. All the updates from the Women's World Cup final coming up here from 4 o'clock on talkSPORT with our reporter Alfie Reynolds. Like we say, Twickenham, 80,000 fans expected there today, so it's going to be brilliant. And also live commentary of the Gallagher Prem throughout the season over on talkSPORT 2. Don't forget the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast is available from tomorrow morning. We've got Sam Ellard and Scott Minto delving into the tactical trends shaping this season. You can get all of that on the talkSPORT app or wherever you get your podcasts from, the talkSPORT Daily podcast. Coming up next, we're going to hear from the Lionesses who are supporting the Red Roses in their World Cup final today. And we'll also look ahead to the 8 o'clock commentary for you tonight on talkSPORT as Spurs host Wolves. Good morning. Hello, hello. Good morning. It's 10 to 8. It's Saturday, the 27th of September. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast live for you here on talkSPORT. Tony Cascarino is with me, Shebahn Aherne. We've just shared a Red Bull. How are you feeling?
Yes, I'm okay.
Is it kicked in?
No, I'm not too excited.
To be fair, you're a big man. You probably need a full can, not a half.
They're very sugary. Really sugary, which I like sweet, but not that sweet.
I don't believe in diet drinks.
No,
I'd rather have the water.
Yeah, I don't buy a low-calorie drink.
I just go full fat, sugar, Red Bull.
You haven't got an ounce on you.
Huh?
You haven't got an ounce on you.
I know, but I love Red Bull. It's a problem, and I haven't had one in a long, long time because I've been on my health kick.
Right.
But we just shared a Red Bull. And
Are you
lovely.
disciplined?
Yeah. Once I'm committed, that's it.
Yeah.
Can't stop me.
Yeah. See, I always break off.
Yeah.
I sometimes just lose it in a moment and go, I fancy that, I'm going to have it. And I've been good up to a certain point, and then suddenly I go, do you know what? I fancy a bit of lemon drizzle. And then I'm gone.
That's not too bad because it's light as well. Lemon drizzle.
Yeah, with a coffee, and so I just feel like my other half, she's incredibly disciplined on her diet. I mean, to a level that I can't even get near to. But she just won't. She never goes away from it. She feels like if she does one thing wrong, it just leads to another and another.
I know. Well, yeah, this is...
And it's honestly, she's been in the best health she's been in since I've known her.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. And then you need to get into the habit of it, don't you?
Yeah, she stays, and she always says to me, "You need to try a bit harder to do this." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do, but
I like lemon drizzle cake.
Yeah, I do.
And Red Bull.
I quite like the thought of going, do you know what? I fancy something like that. I'm going to have it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to smash a pizza tonight. Do you know what I mean? Or a curry, one or the other. It's getting it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Saturday night's pizza or curry night.
Oh, Ryder Cup weekend, all the football on,
yeah.
a World Cup final. You've got to treat yourself. Cass, rate these three in your order of
Go on.
least favourite to favourite. Ryder Cup, World Cup, Olympics. Go.
Olympics third.
Harsh.
Didn't
even think about it.
Ryder Cup second, even though I love it, and World Cup first.
Really?
Because obviously football was my game. It's the game I played and loved and did it for 20 years. So it'd always take priority. But I must say Ryder Cup takes it really close. Anything golf-wise, Masters you could put in there as well. It's a very special tournament, the Open. And I've been lucky I haven't been to the Masters, but I've been to a couple of Opens. But definitely football first, World Cup, obviously, and then Ryder Cup, and then Olympics.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. But then the Olympics last time round was amazing.
Well, that's 2012 was amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
But Paris was unreal. But I'd take a Ryder Cup every year.
Yeah.
I'd take that every year instead of biennial. I just love Ryder Cup weekend. It's just the best.
Yeah, it's
the format.
I love it. I'm stuck to the settee, and I'm not really. And I even warned my other half that don't ask me to do things this weekend.
Speak to me.
No, speaking's okay, but
I don't know where Jamie is this weekend. He said it's something to do with the Ryder Cup. That could be her name. Anyway, we'll see how we go on with that. Coming up for you at 8 o'clock tonight, it's Spurs versus Wolves. Live on talkSPORT. Thomas Frank's side have made a great start to the season. They've got Wolves aside still to pick up a point so far this season. Here to look ahead to the game with us is Spurs TikToker Luke. Luke, how are you this morning? Do you like the Ryder Cup?
Good, thank you. I'm not a massive fan of anything other than football, really.
Oh, Luke.
I know that's a bit boring.
In the bin.
I know.
Well, Luke, tell us about your Spurs because obviously you got Wolves at home today. Apart from the one blip against Bournemouth at home, you've had a really good start to the season. The comeback at Brighton, 2-0 down.
I know. I think we've seen a bit of everything from Thomas Frank so far in overcoming that Bournemouth defeat, shrugging it off, getting back. We've seen the recovery against Brighton. Have we seen the Tottenham appear that I just expect tonight, with Wolves having lost 5 games, us seeming so buoyant, let's be honest, it's nice to just get some normality back. It just, that feel, I'm a bit apprehensive about tonight, I won't lie. I should be optimistic. I should be really excited about it. But everything tells me not to be.
Luke, how do you answer when people say, because you've had a good start, and obviously Postecoglou had a great start when he first got to Spurs. How do you answer that? What's the difference? If you was to answer someone who says, yeah, but you did that with Postecoglou and then you fell away, what would you say the difference is now?
To me, there was such an extreme approach under Postecoglou that first season where teams had to suss us out. Postecoglou was new to the Premier League. I think it was a case of we got that run, probably the worst thing we could have done, because all of a sudden teams start to think, wait a minute, Tottenham might have something about them. And it's like we're going to have to find a way to stop them. So it all seemed to be the attention was on us. I like that Bournemouth. I didn't like it, obviously. Let me rephrase that. The Bournemouth defeat for me was, it was okay because it was like, right, stop them expectations. Let's not get carried away like some people did in that first season under Postecoglou. And let's go again. I think we needed that dose of reality, I think, against Bournemouth, which is the difference. We probably didn't get that when we could have got that with Postecoglou in that first year. We went on that run and then it all came crashing down with that Chelsea game. But I feel like this year it feels a bit more, there's some structure to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
And in terms of Richarlison leading the line, I mean, obviously Solanke's struggling with a little bit of a knock, but it looks like Thomas Frank really fancies Richarlison. But do you see him as consistent enough?
Not for me personally. I've always seen Richarlison as a squad player for Tottenham. I like what he offers in his own right, but for me, he's not that centre forward that if you are to want to be back in the Champions League via means of the league qualification, I don't think he's the player to lead the line. I don't mean that disrespectfully to him because he has a role to play. I just think Thomas Frank is unsure until Solanke comes back in and shows Thomas Frank what he's capable of. I feel like the left winger position, Thomas Frank doesn't really know what he wants yet. And I think that's something with the centre forward that until Solanke gets a run, again, it's open.
One transfer that came in, Luke, for me, I thought was a terrific signing, was a loan deal for Parhinia. I felt is exactly what you needed, a midfielder that can rob the ball off the opposition plus keep it brilliantly. And that was, even though it was a loan with a potential buy, I thought that was a really Thomas Frank type of signing.
100%. Love him. Absolutely. I've banged this drum for so many years now, obviously from his days at Fulham, going to Bayern Munich. And he's just that person that he does the unsung hero work that allows other players to just get on and express themselves. Bergvall, Sarr. It's no surprise you see these players become better players, versions of themselves, because they've been given that freedom. But Palhinha has to allow that. Even the fullbacks, they can get on when they need to, especially obviously left-hand side, because Palhinha is covering these areas. I think that is something that, we've missed, we've needed.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck tonight. You sound kind of nervous about it, Luke, but hope it goes well for you. 8 o'clock kickoff, Spurs versus Wolves, live for you here on talkSPORT. If you've got plans 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, you're going out and about, download the talkSPORT app. You can take us anywhere you're going for all of the action from that game. That was TikToker Luke and Spurs fan there. Just a reminder, by the way, our friends at DAZN bring you over 185 fights a year and an undisputed schedule featuring stars like Dave Allen, Joshua Boatse, Jaron Ennis, Nathaniel Collins and many more. Sign up now at DAZN.com/boxing. And coming up next, we'll discuss our 12:30 kick-off this afternoon. It's Brentford versus Man United on talkSPORT.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at DAZN.com/boxing.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tigers loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, set in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1-up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano or Seve. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Good morning. Welcome to the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and the one and only former Celtic, Chelsea and Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Very good to be with you. You've got a brilliant thriller in the Premier League today, starting with Brentford against Manchester United this lunchtime, and ahead of Brian and Bournemouth's return to the G-Tech since his summer exit. Ruben Amorim has praised his start to life in Manchester.
He's always there to help us. He runs a lot, he presses a lot. He's a different threat compared to last season. He can take set pieces, and that is really important in this league. So I'm more than happy with Brian.
Yeah, lots of love for Bri this morning. Will he have a happy return to the G-Tech? You'll find out with our live commentary on GameDay, 12:30 here on talkSPORT. We're at the G-Tech with Reshman Chowdhury for GameDay Live. Brentford hosting Manchester United. League leaders at Liverpool travel to Palace, who are 17 games unbeaten. That's brilliant. It's among our games on GameDay Live, and Reds manager Arne Slot has heaped praise on Crystal Palace's impressive defensive displays this season too.
Even we find it very hard to score goals against them. In the 3 games we've played them twice, we only scored 1 goal, and in one time that was enough for the win. And once we scored 2, but they scored 2 as well. So it's a difficult team to score goals against.
And ahead of their clash against Burnley, the Kyle Walker derby at the Etihad, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has praised Phil Foden's impressive attitude this season.
Against Arsenal, like, everybody was exhausted and tired because we ran a lot behind the ball and we parked the bus and so on. So in that moment, Phil said, I want to play again and I want to play again.
Great to see Phil Foden back at his best. We'll keep you across all of the action from the Premier League, the EFL, the Women's Rugby World Cup final, up the road in Scotland, and of course from Ryder Cup weekend 2. We've got a busy day of sport here for you on the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. Phil Foden, we've not spoken about him this week as well, Cass.
Yeah.
I mean, Pep Guardiola talking about his attitude to the start of the season. Something's really changed with him. Something's clicked in his head. He's got himself back on the best version of Phil Foden on the pitch anyway. But it's all linked, isn't it?
Shebahn, it's so obvious sometimes in sport that people come off their levels. Now, Phil Foden, if you go back, not last season, but the season before, he's Football Writer Player of the Year. You know, he had a tremendous season and he's a very capable player. But then he come off it and then he lost his England place. You know, then he was battling for fitness. Phil's had a load of issues. He's not played his best football. But you have to accept sometimes even really top players lose their levels. And Phil's been there. Watch him the last few games, it's certainly much, much better. And he looks in good physical nick now. And I think at times, a bit like Jack Grealish last year, didn't look like they were up to speed with the game for whatever reason. Whether they had little niggles, I don't know, but they just weren't on top of their game. And technical players struggle once that goes from them.
Yeah.
He's a good player, Phil. He's a really top player.
How do you think they'll do against Burnley today? Do you think it'll be
Well, you imagine they'd win. But Burnley, a difficult side. One thing that Scotty Parker has brought to the Premier League is what he did in the Championships. And OK, he's conceding goals, but generally they're still defending really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep you posted on all the games from the Premier League today. Here on GameDay Live, 2:30, Adrian Dunham going around the grounds as always. Good morning to Chris. He says, hi guys, can we get a shout out to the Little Lionesses under-9s team today, travelling to Berkhamsted for an away game early doors. Good luck to you troops. Morning to Carter. He said, sorry, did Tony Cascarino just say 100 house cats would beat a lion? The lion would chomp about 10 at once. Come on, Tony the Tiger.
Oh, I wasn't listening to house cats. I was just thinking cats.
You were just, yeah.
The lion is the biggest of the cat family, isn't it? It's the biggest one.
Big cat. It's the big cat. Okay, fair point. Good morning, Shebahn. Please say hello to Jim, David, Dennis and Paul travelling to Glasgow from Nottingham, 600-mile round trip on the hoops. All Celtic fans against the board. Okay, lovely stuff. Travel safely today. You can let us know where you're heading and what games you're supporting today. Yeah, go on Celtic. Let's focus on the Premier League as well. We have a huge weekend ahead, including all starting today at 12:30 with Brentford versus Manchester United on talkSPORT.
Keith Andrews, I think, will really be ruining the manner of at least a couple of the goals.
But there are sometimes when you just look at a lineup and you think, it doesn't feel like this is a winnable team.
I say they've been stripped of their goal scorers and creators.
Yeah, the message doesn't really tend to change week to week. It's just be us.
I understand that certain parts of the media might want to do it that way, even though I don't agree with it. But there's never been a better time to be a Brentford fan.
I have to just say, I always say it, we are all the media.
I know that you want headlines.
Blues go away with nothing. It's finished at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1.
Any team that is athletic and physically strong, they will struggle, Manchester United, because they're not an athletic team.
Shada finds the corner. There's Bruno Fernandes going for goal. Oh, what a magnificent hit!
12:30, Brentford host Man United live on talkSPORT. The 3 o'clock kickoffs are as follows. Chelsea take on Brighton, Palace host Liverpool, Leeds take on Bournemouth, and Manchester City host Burnley at the Etihad. 5:30, it's Forest taking on Sunderland, and then the 8 o'clock kickoff live here on talkSPORT is Spurs against Wolves. Cash, you were talking earlier on about the Brentford Man United game being a game to focus on because Ruben Amorim hasn't even had back-to-back wins yet.
No.
That's the Man United manager. He'll be just craving that out, and I feel he needs a little bit of luck.
Well, first of all, I mean, there's Paul Parker spoke in there about they're not athletic enough, and that's a fair point on Manchester United, especially if you look in the middle of midfield with Fernandes and whether it's Ngate or whoever comes in. I don't feel like they've got an athletic midfield. That is a problem. Bringing in Cunha and Mbeumo helps. That certainly helps with them being a bit more pace-wise and getting around the pitch. But they're not that. But, I look at Brentford and I don't think Brentford will be in trouble. I don't think Brentford will be in trouble this year. I think they've just got enough. I really like Damsgaard, really gifted footballer. Sees things early, passes, exactly when it's needed. And they've had loads of injuries over the last few years that have not helped. But they're a side that are quite organised.
Yeah.
So Lewis Potter is an handful as a fullback or wing back. He can create. They've got quality. So it'll be a tough game.
Yeah.
Both sides today.
Across both Manchester sides for us this morning, we've got our Manchester correspondent, Mickey Gray. Good morning, Mickey. You're at the Etihad today.
I am, Shebahn. Yeah, good morning, Cass. Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting one at the Etihad. I mean, Burnley's record there is atrocious, to be honest with you. And City can't slip up any more than they already have because they're already 8 points behind Liverpool. I know it's early on in the season, but you just don't see Liverpool losing too many games. So I think it's a must-win for Pep Guardiola. And they seem to have turned a little corner. Good performance against Napoli. I know they went down to 10 men, but then he had 6 academy players playing against Huddersfield in midweek, and they did very well. But it's all about the Premier League now. I think they've got to start trying to climb that table and put a bit of pressure on the boys at the top of the table. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm sat alongside Adrian as well today.
Yeah. Mickey, Manchester United, and I listened to Paul Parker speak about athleticism in their team, and that's something that clearly Manchester United lack.
Yeah. No, I think you're right there, Cass. What they try to do at the moment, I think every time I've seen Man United this season, is they try and come out the traps and high press for the first 45 minutes, that's for sure. But I think when it comes to the second half, it's like they run out of a little bit of steam. I think they run out of ideas as well. Albeit I thought they played against Chelsea. I thought they played very well. I know Chelsea went down early to 10 men with the goalkeeper going off, but I think you could actually see for the first time the system that Ruben Amorim has in De Ligt coming out of one of the 3 centre halves, going into midfield. I think you could see it was actually trying to work. And I thought at times in that game, they actually played very well, but it's not about just one game. I think, Shebahn, you just mentioned it there. He's not won back-to-back games. I know he's won back-to-back home games now, but they need to go on a run, Man United, and kind of send a message to everybody in the Premier League to say, like, we are getting better. We are going to cause problems to sides in the Premier League, but I think they've got to do that now on a more consistent basis.
What about Sesko? It's due a goal, isn't it? And he needs one badly because settling in after a big move and being a centre forward, he certainly needs one.
Oh, massively, Cass. I mean, how many times are they going to get it wrong, Man United? They just can't buy a centre forward who's going to get the goals for them. I mean, he's a willing trier. He was obviously involved in the sending off at Chelsea in that game with a flick on for Mbeumo when Sanchez pulled him down just outside of the 18-yard area. But you see some centre forwards, Cass, you probably know this better than me. There's a time in your career where you go to a new club and you try too hard. And in trying too hard, he's not getting himself in the positions maybe he's expecting to be in. And is he getting the service as well from the wide guys and even the midfield players? The creativity isn't there for him. They've got to try and find a way of bedding him into that starting 11 and making sure he's a part of the team, because at the minute he looks like a lost soul.
Yeah, I blame the wingers, me.
Yeah, I thought you might, Cass.
Mickey, just quickly, no Amad Diallo in the Man United side today. He's had a bereavement in the family, is that right?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, so that it's obviously a little bit of a shame. I mean,
Yeah.
he's such a talented boy, but when it comes to things like that with your family, etc., I think it's understandable, and I think Ruben Amorim knows that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mickey Gray at the Etihad for us today for GameDay Live alongside Adrian Durham, watching Manchester City against Burnley and also keeping across Man United away to the G-Tech against Brentford as well. Mickey, before you go, new Barnet?
No, well, it's getting longer, isn't it? Yeah, I just put a bit of water on before I came on air.
Looks good. You know, Russell Martin on us here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah, it looks good. Mickey Gray, thank you so much for being with us this morning. You can always track his Barnet on your smart TV or on the YouTube channel. Coming up for you next on the Weekend Breakfast Show, we're going to speak to Andrew Beef Johnson to discuss the Ryder Cup, which has now reached day 2. This is the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. said that. Good morning. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Villa and Gillingham striker Tony Cascarino. Ryder Cup weekend. Also, by the way, over on talkSPORT 2. Swipe across on the talkSPORT app right now for the grand final of Aussie Rules AFL between Geelong Cats and the Brisbane Lion. Live for you now over on talkSPORT 2. It's been a cracking weekend so far. Ryder Cup action all underway. And Rory McIlroy is trending this morning, not just for a great display yesterday, but there's a video going around of him swearing at a fan. If you're watching now on your smart TV or on the YouTube channel, you'll see that moment of Rory McIlroy giving the finger to some of the American fans. I would assume American fans. Nothing like his sportsmanship like the middle finger at the Ryder Cup. Ever just lost it with a fan and just flipped the bird, Cass?
Yeah.
I do it all the time. Stop.
No, sometimes you just get taken to a place and your reaction is natural. It's not premeditated. You just think, sorry, mate, but I'm not going to let you get away with that, or you react to it. Yeah, so I've had it, and it's part of sport, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It's all part of it.
I mean, obviously you can't go too far.
Yeah, that's the thing. Already I'm seeing, the little losers who are like, right, Rory should be banned, he should be fined. Grow up.
Do you want to reject, do you want to literally throw out people who are making comments to you? I would say, no, I don't want them, but, just sometimes you need to react to it.
Yeah, take it back if you're big enough.
Don't want them ejected, because they've made one little mistake. Unless it's really, really serious stuff, then obviously there's a line in the sand for everything, isn't there?
Exactly. It's just a little sweetie moment. And we move on. You've been sending your acronyms all morning for USA. Underperforming smarmy antagonists. A belter that came in early this morning, 8:10:89. USA, unfortunately, still amateurs. Useless swing attempt, and USA, you suck again. 8:10:89 if you want to keep.
I've got one. I've got my nephew's sent me one in. Daniel, he's put unbelievable scoreboard already. He's thought about that one, hasn't he?
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Yeah, he's put bang average on it, but I think it's desperate, Dan. Sorry.
Fingers crossed for Europe on day 2. Right, we can now get the latest odds with Coral and Simon Clare.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Simon, good morning.
Good morning, Shebahn. Good morning, Cass. God, it's early days to be getting too cocky. I mean, I'm all for Europe, and it was an incredible first day. But
sing when you're winning.
Yeah, exactly. Sing when you're winning. I mean, there's a long way to go, and I mean, we know that when it gets to there's something about the European team which really is. It's ironic, given that Europe isn't a country. They have far more united as a team than the Americans, who you'd assume would be really kind of united. And yet when the singles come along, I think Europe need to have a lead going into the singles, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, by 2 or 3 points. So it's a great start. It was an incredible day. But put it in context, they're 2-5 now to retain the trophy. You can back America. Great, just shy of 2-1. But that's still, despite the fact they got a 3-point lead, that's still quite tight. And today, if you want to bet on who wins today, effectively with the four balls and foursomes, we do make America to make a bit of a comeback. They're even money to win day 2. You can back Europe to double down and win day 2 at 7-5, and then the tie if it was a tied score at the end for the day. That's 5-1. So the betting suggests we think USA may close the gap, and then it'll be into the singles tomorrow. And it's going to be very interesting to see how today plays out.
I was saying, Simon, earlier that I just felt the character of the USA team, it just lacked the same type of characters that the Europeans have got.
Yeah, and that's really been the theme for Ryder Cups for many years, which is what makes this tournament so incredible, really. And I thought Patrick Cantlay and Schauffele were the two leading lights for America, and they're paired up with Rahm and Hatton today, and this morning. And we bet 11-2 Rahm and Hatton, 5-4 Schauffele and Cantlay. That's a key game. McIlroy and Fleetwood are long odds on 8-15 to beat English and Morikawa. Very tight match between DeChambeau, who hasn't really fired yet, and Young against Fitzpatrick, who was brilliant yesterday, and Aberg. 10-11 DeChambeau and Young, 11-8 Fitzpatrick and Aberg. And then a final match, Henley and Scheffler, who needs to get going. Yeah. They are odds on 4-5 to beat McIntyre and Hovland. So I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic.
Nor can I. So let's get to the football because Brentford kick it off at 12:30, Simon, and we've got a lot of other games today as well.
Yeah, well, look, I was listening to you chatting away, as I always do in preparation. You were talking about, can Cesco get a goal? Well, he's 7-4 to score today, 6-1 to score first. And Waymo, who's actually started well for United, he's 2-1 to get a goal against his own club, old club, and 30-2 to score first. And we do make United favourites at 11-10 to beat a Brentford side who are down the relegation zone at the moment, 11-5 at Brentford, 11-4 the draw. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if United can get a bit of momentum going, which I know you were talking about.
Yeah, Spurs against Wolves, also live on talkSPORT later on tonight, and championship action as well.
Yeah, we've got plenty. We have Spurs 4-7 against a Wolves side struggling. Wolves now second favourites for relegation at 1-2. Spurs going well under Thomas Frank. They're 4-7 to get a good result today. Championship game, Coventry, Birmingham. I mean, the championship's amazing, so tight. We still make Ipswich favourites for the title, which Alan Brazil every morning cannot believe. No, nothing's actually changing. But it's Frank Lampard's Coventry 11-10. This is the lunchtime kickoff. 11-10, 5-2 the draw. Cora, the betting partner of Birmingham City, so we're always cheering them on. They're 5-2 away from home. Very little in it. Coventry 6-4 for promotion. Birmingham 2-1 for promotion. These are both sides with ambitions to get up to the Premier League. So look forward to that lunchtime kickoff as well.
So also finally, racing, Simon. Where are you today, or what's the biggest meeting?
Well, I'm not going racing, but I will be watching. I'm actually going up to see Newcastle Arsenal tomorrow at St James's Park, which I cannot wait.
Nice.
I'm been invited by a season ticket holder up there, so I'll be right in the heart of the Newcastle fans, cheering on Arsenal, very, very quiet. But anyway, I don't know why I digressed there. But the racing today, it's a good racing. It's the Cambridgeshire meeting at Newmarket. We've got Treble T is the favourite for the Cambridgeshire, a big field there. But I'll give a shout out to Fitzeller, who's trained by Hugo Palmer, owned, the Michael Owen stable, Michael Owen, the ex-footballer stable, running in a Group 1, the Cheveley Park at 2:15. She's a 10-1 chance, this filly, with Sheen Murphy on board, but she has got a chance, and I'll be crossing fingers for a big run. That'll be a huge win for Michael Owen.
Brilliant stuff. Simon, Claire, as ever, thank you so much.
Have a lovely day, both of you.
Don't be swearing at the away end, okay, when you're at the game tomorrow. Don't be doing a Rory McIlroy. I know what you're like.
I don't want to be ejected or rejected or whatever it was Cass was saying you shouldn't be.
You've never been rejected, not once.
Rejected.
Simon, Claire, that was a look ahead. With the latest odds with Coral, 18+, be gambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18+, max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Coming up for you next, we'll look ahead to day 2 at the Ryder Cup with English golfer Beef. Next. About this Saturday morning. Good morning. It's Game Day Breakfast for you here on the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Aston Villa and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino with you here on talkSPORT. Over on talkSPORT 2, if you need a fix of the Aussie rules AFL between Geelong Cats and Brisbane Lions on the way just now, over on talkSPORT 2, you can easily swipe across on the talkSPORT app to get all of that commentary on talkSPORT 2. Coming up for you here on talkSPORT today, you're in for an absolute cracker after us. Max and Charlie bringing you the warm-up from 9 through till 11 o'clock, and then it's Game Day exclusive at 11 with Reshman Chowdhury live and exclusive commentary, Brentford versus Man United at 12:30 kick-off here on talkSPORT. talkSPORT 2, our home of the EFL. 2 more live games. Cov take on Birmingham at 12:30, followed by Southampton against Middlesbrough at 3. Ian Danter is your host. Then at 2:30, Game Day live with the GOAT, Adrian Durham, live from the Etihad with all of the goals as they go in from the Prem and beyond. And at 5:30, talkSPORT's wind-up merchants, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Candy, taking your calls on the Game Day phone-in. And then it's live commentary tonight of your evening game, Spurs taking on Wolves. 7:30 for the build-up, kicking off at 8 o'clock before fight night at 10:30 here on talkSPORT. Not to mention, Cass, the Ryder Cup as well. Off to an absolute cracker yesterday. Today, it's day 2 in New York. Been a great start for Europe. They took a 5.5 over 2.5 lead against USA. The team that have led at the end of the second session have just won each of the past Ryder Cups. And the past 6 times Europe have led after the opening 2 sessions, they've gone on to win the trophy. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. Well, we kind of are, Cass, aren't we?
Definitely.
Yeah. You've got to enjoy it while you can. Here to go through it all with us ahead of day 2 is golfer Andrew Beef Johnson. Good morning, Beef. How are you?
Andy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're really good. And an amazing day. Just tell us your thoughts on what happened yesterday, Andrew.
I couldn't have got any better. I mean, what a start. They come flying out of the blocks. And I mean, it was so impressive yesterday. Watching them, them first few groups were so impressive. I think I heard that they were 11 under for 22 holes combined at the start. And I mean, that's phenomenal golf in foursomes. I mean, it's an incredible start. Luke Donald must have been going to bed last night thinking, I couldn't have wished for a perfect start here.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you, because I said earlier, and you might sound unfair here, but I said I was so surprised that there didn't seem the character in the USA team like there was in the Europeans. Now, some of them, look, Scotty Scheffler is one of the best players in the world, or one of the best players that ever played the game. But his partnership with Henley, who, by the way, which I found strange, is going out again in the foursomes again today. I found there was a lot of things that I didn't quite felt the Americans were in good place with.
Yeah, it did seem a strange pairing. The strange thing I saw there was the holes they were teeing off, and they were always miles behind because Henley was playing against Oberg off the tee. So next thing, Scheffler's always 30 yards behind, and it's such an advantage for the European team. And I'll be interested today if they swap the tees, if they take different tee shots around, because it just didn't work. And I think it's one of them things, that atmosphere on the first tee, just before they teed off, when Bryson made a birdie on the first, when they made birdie on the first, it was buzzing and you could feel that energy. But I thought Europe was so good the crowd just went flat, and all of a sudden the players are on the back foot, and it was almost like that pressure had switched. It completely turned around and switched, and all of a sudden USA were on the back foot and Europe were flying. And I think this next morning session is going to be crucial.
I mean,
America have to come out and win it. They have to come out and win it.
And do you know what? I'll keep it far more interesting if they are to. And Cass mentioned Scotty Scheffler. I mean, maybe the best who have ever played the game. Wasn't at it yesterday, but we know what Scotty Scheffler can do. You know, once he's had an off day, he just goes and cleans up. Can I ask you about Rory McIlroy and giving the finger? What looks like he's given the finger to some of the US fans. What do you make of that gesture?
I mean, it's hard. You're like, you're like, I don't know. How can you describe it?
You're a target.
He's getting heckled all day. He's getting heckled all day.
Yeah.
All day. In the practice days, he's getting heckled all day. And I think at some point, I don't know what someone says out the crowd. We don't know exactly the words he said, but it could have been sort of across that line. Yeah, maybe he's just had enough of it for one day. But I think it can be really hard when you're in that environment and you're so close to the fans. Mm-hmm. Literally touching distance. There's no barrier really between fans and the players to some extent. You can hear everything as well. So maybe you just had enough of it, and yeah, if he did, he did. I mean, it is.
He's human.
We've all been there.
Like, all day for 4 or 5 days of getting peppered. It must be tough.
Yeah.
Tell me, Andrew, what do you think of the course? Because I'm surprised that there's no real water on any of the holes. I think there's only like one where there's water. The semi-rough isn't really rough to you guys of your talent. They can all, hit it in sort of the semi-rough and get up pretty close to the pin again. How did you... Because I was surprised that the course would be, like Bethpage would be this sort of course for the Americans.
Yeah, I was surprised as well, Tony. I thought it was a golf course that would potentially suit the Europeans. I know in the past, the Ryder Cups America have won. They've always been sort of bomb it off the tee, get it down there, make a lot of birdies and eagles. But I think the difference now is all the Europeans are playing in America every year. Yeah. Week in, week out. You don't have that type of advantage. And I think the Europeans are prepped for any type of golf course. It's not when the majority of golfers were playing back in Europe and playing in America. Now, all the best players, all 24 of these players are basically playing in the States. Mm-hmm. So I think that doesn't have much of an effect anymore. And yeah, the rough's down. It's not going to suit them anymore. I think... I felt being a US Open venue golf course, it was still going to suit Europe a lot more.
Yeah. And Andrew, what we're seeing today for the foursomes is really Luke's just gone exactly the same with the foursomes of yesterday. With Aberg, with Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood with McIlroy, Hatton, Ram. It's basically the same, isn't it?
No need to change it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely no need to change it. I'm surprised... Keegan Bradley stuck to his guns and he hasn't changed too much, and he come out and said he's sticking to the game plan. But like I said, I think this morning session is so important. If Europe win it, it's a long way back from there. If America sort of claw themselves back and win that first session and have momentum going into the second session, it can all change. So I think it's a real sort of pivotal moment in this Ryder Cup.
So tell us, for the average golfer listening, Beef, foursomes and four balls, the difference that you as professionals, like it wouldn't be for us, Obviously, there's only one ball in play for foursomes and then all balls in four ball. But tell us from actually playing the game.
Yeah, foursomes can be a really interesting game because you take alternate tee shots and it's alternate shots every shot. And you can play 4 or 5 holes, and all of a sudden, in the back of my mind, I'm going, I haven't hit a putt for 5 holes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you'll end up with a really important putt, maybe from 6 foot, say, and you're like, I haven't hit a putt since the 3rd hole. We're on the 9th here, and you have to be really wary. And it is really sort of about finding a rhythm and a playing partner, knowing what your playing partner likes as well, what shots he likes, where you're going to hit it off the tee. All of a sudden, you have to think about someone else, which is non-existent in golf. You know, we're all playing our own ball constantly. So you're always thinking, what shot do I like? What yardage do I want to leave on a par 5 for a third shot? Where would I like to leave this if I'm going to miss it? And all of a sudden, it's completely different, and you have to think about someone else. I think 4-ball can be quite sort of, there's a few tactics in 4-ball as well, between when you're both playing well in 4-ball and you both got birdie putts, and someone's already made a par, and you can be really aggressive, or you know your playing partner's playing well, you both can be really aggressive, get the ball down there, take driver, put pressure on, give yourself as many birdie putts as possible. When someone's not firing as much, all the pressure heads to one person and one player. And that becomes slightly more difficult as well, because you know, oh no, okay, the guys we're playing against are playing well. I've got to make a birdie here. And it becomes different. But when you're both playing well, it becomes a lot easier. And you can have moments where 4-ball feels really easy. Or we made 12 birdies out there today in 4-ball. And all of a sudden, sometimes you see we only made 3. And it was really difficult. So they're so momentum based. They really are.
Yeah. Beef, what's your prediction? What do you think is going to happen over the next couple of days?
I do think if Europe win this first session, I think it's going to be tough for America to come back. And they're going in probably playing Europe's strongest format as well in foursomes as well. So I think it's going to be an uphill battle. I think they're looking good. But I think if I was Luke Donald, I'd be making sure the players, we don't get ahead of ourselves. We need to go out and win this session. It's far from done. And we don't want that crowd to be sort of getting a bit of steam and getting rowdy, you know?
Yeah, mentality will be a huge part of it today and tomorrow. Andrew Beef Johnson, as ever, thank you so much. Enjoy the Ryder Cup weekend. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Andy.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
Beef there. Honestly, see the pictures and the celebrations. The putting game was strong yesterday for Europe, but how Tommy Fleetwood is, screaming at Justin Rose, I believe in you. It's just like, it brings out this other side of golf, this Ryder Cup weekend. I love it.
Well, think about Matt Fitzpatrick, the year he's had and how well he's played. Yeah. Played brilliantly. Tommy Fleetwood, how great year he's had. Played brilliantly over the couple of days. Justin Rose, he's found his form again. Rory's won tournaments this year, obviously the Masters, and there's just a lot of European players who are playing really well. So Ram's come. He left to go to the Live Tour when he was number 1 in the world. Okay, and he's come back. And his form just changed a bit at the BMW that was played a couple of weeks ago, where he looked like he'd sort of close to himself. And he looked really wanted to prove a point.
Yeah.
Ram, he really felt like, and he's a feisty, man anyway. But it's some great stuff. And look, as Beefy said, you've got to keep that momentum going. Pushing it hard on them.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for it. All the updates coming out in New York today. It all gets underway around about midday from Ryder Cup Day 2. Keeping you posted here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll build up to the rest of today's games. Good morning. morning. Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne. Former Chelsea and Celtic striker Tony Cascarino is here. West Ham take on Chelsea tomorrow, 2:30. Cass, we're going to be bringing you live commentary of the game over on talkSPORT 2. Liverpool against Manchester United. So, that is not the case. In the WSL, sorry,
yes.
It's the case. West Ham versus Chelsea tomorrow, 2:30, and Liverpool against Manchester United. Yesterday, by the way, we caught up with Lioness legend and Euro 2025 winner and Chelsea defender Lucy Bronze, who's supporting the Red Roses in the World Cup final today at the rugby.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good draw. I think, again, we love the setup of it this season, and having different teams to play against each time is going to be exciting. I think the draw was, it's going to be the same for everyone. You get 2 teams from each pot, so you're going to have tough games. You're going to have less tough games. We'll not say easy, because never an easy game in the Champions League. But I think we're in a good place. We've got players to come back fit as well, like Lauren James, Naomi Girma, Maya Ramirez. These players would start in any team in the world. So it's exciting that we're doing so well already, and we've got players to come back as well.
Absolutely. Do you think you could play rugby one day, Lucy? Do you fancy yourself at that?
Not one day, but maybe in another life I think I could have. Maggie's just been telling me that. She was like, I think the fact you played with a broken leg, you're supposed to be a rugby player. I was like, yeah, maybe, but it wasn't there when I was younger. Football was what I went to.
I wonder if there's anything more painful, Lucy, than playing a sport with a broken leg. I mean, if anybody knows, I'm sure the rugby girls do.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, when she was telling me that, I was thinking, I'm sure you girls play with a lot worse than just like the broken leg. You broke every bone in your body compared to football.
Yeah, to be fair, if I got, I think even a cut in my nose, I'd be airlifted out of there. It would be a full emergency scene. Do you like your golf as well, Lucy? It's Ryder Cup weekend. I've noticed some of the Chelsea girls go out and play golf. Are you into the golf?
I'm into playing more than watching. I've got a good drive, very good drive. I've got a good drive, putting games okay, but the bit in the middle, like, woeful. Needs a bit of practice.
What do you play off of?
Don't play off anything. I've only played a few rounds with some of the girls. Erin Cuthbert's she's like the go-to if she's got all the gear and everything.
Yeah, I've got all the gear and no idea. Absolutely. Good luck at Richmond today. Keep inspiring all the rugby next generation and the football generation as well. And good luck with what's to come, Lucy Bronze. Good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Take care. Bye, Lucy.
Yeah, bye.
Go get some sleep. Jesus.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.
I was going to say something else there. Cut. Yeah, West Ham versus Chelsea tomorrow, 2:30, and then talkSPORT 2, Liverpool versus Man United at 12 o'clock as well. It's time now for a little bit of this.
Yes or no? 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 Yes or no?
Time for Tony Cascarino to have his say on the following with Cascari yes or Cascari no. Crystal Palace against Liverpool today, 3 o'clock. Cass. Mark Geehee. Will he have a successful game against Liverpool after his move collapsed in the summer?
I hope not. But him and that back line at Palace, include the keeper and the whole team really, they're so good at what they do. I hope he doesn't have a good game.
How do you see this one going? Give me a prediction.
Tough. I think it's a tough game for Liverpool. Prediction on it is I think it'll be really close. I don't see Liverpool getting a host of goals. Look, we never know, but I think they're just so well drilled, Palace. It'll be a tough afternoon. Liverpool got to be at their best today.
Could be interesting. Palace could go 18 games unbeaten.
Yeah, and rightly so. Deserved it. They've not been fortunate. It's not been lucky performances along the way. They've played really well.
Yeah, Glasnow's doing the business. Very, very quickly, Graham Potter has been trending on social media for the last couple of days because of AI. Fans have started swapping Graham Potter's face onto famous images of other celebrities, including Sydney Sweeney, including Wayne Rooney and Wayne Rooney's children, including Sam Thompson, who's a bit of a celebrity in the Love Island world, etc. Do you believe in swapping face images? Because, it's just a weird thing to do, but it makes me laugh.
Yeah, I suppose if something makes you smile, and there are some funny images, I'm not going to be a party pooper.
Take a look at your smart TV or the talkSPORT YouTube channel now. Here is Graham Potter's face mixed with talkSPORT's Alan Brazil. It's just weird.
Yeah, Al looks really well there.
He does. Alan's a really good-looking Graham
Where's
Potter.
his red face gone? Al's red face.
And by the way, fair play to Potter for having the crack with that as well with the journalist yesterday in his press conference. He says, it made my son laugh, so all in good jest. Good luck to him in his game. On Monday night, we'll have it here on talkSPORT. That's it from us tomorrow. Cass and I are back tomorrow. Back today and tomorrow. Ryder Cup weekend. Enjoy it all. We'll have you posted here on talkSPORT.
Yes or no? Yes.